Embracing amor fati, love of fate, in Stoic philosophy. In one of my earlier videos, I discussed the concept of amor fati, meaning love of fate. Amor fati is a principle in Stoic philosophy, also found in Nietzsche's works. The idea is to love and embrace whatever outcome occurs, regardless of how hard we work towards a goal. This detachment from results enhances our focus on the task at hand and reduces future-related anxiety. But how do we practice this? In this video, I'll explore 4 ways to embrace amor fati. Now let's dive into the concept of loving fate. The idea is simple, but implementing it is challenging because our minds easily drift to the future, fantasizing about what might happen. This restlessness about the future stems from either desiring or fearing certain outcomes. When we desire an outcome, the thought of not achieving it causes anxiety. When we fear an outcome, the idea of it happening causes anxiety. Therefore, attachment to outcomes creates mental turmoil. Epictetus suggests removing desire and aversion for things beyond our control. He says, if you desire any of the things which are not in your own control, you must necessarily be disappointed. And of those which are, and which it would be laudable to desire, nothing is yet in your possession. Use only the appropriate actions of pursuit and avoidance, and even these lightly, and with gentleness and reservation. Though this is easier said than done, the Stoics believe that humans naturally seek things that enhance their lives and avoid those that don't. They call these indifference, which include preferred and dispreferred indifference. Losing or not obtaining these preferred indifference can cause anxiety. However, Stoics argue that these external factors are not necessary for happiness, which is good news since they are beyond our control. Many people endlessly worry about the future, but trying to control the outcome is pointless. Instead, we can control our response to the outcome, which the following 4 practices will address. 1. Purposefully expose yourself to what you fear. Often, the things we fear aren't as bad as we imagine. Many people dread poverty, a fear fueled by societal messages that being poor is terrible. Someone fearing poverty might think they can't live without a big house, a fancy car, vacations, and dining out regularly. To reduce fear of certain outcomes, expose yourself to them to realize they're not as bad as imagined. By familiarizing yourself with hardship, you're better prepared for it. Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "It is precisely in times of immunity from care that the soul should toughen itself beforehand for occasions of greater stress, and it is while fortune is kind that it should fortify itself against her violence." If you fear poverty, try living like a poor person for a few days to discover it's not as bad as you think. Another common fear is being single and alone. If you fear this, try avoiding relationships for a while and rely on yourself for happiness. Realizing that being single can be great will help you stop fearing loneliness in relationships and avoid staying in abusive ones. 2. See change as an opportunity. Reflecting on my life, I see that many of my fears came true. Losing jobs, being kicked out of school, losing relationships, friends, and opportunities. But each loss brought new opportunities. After college, I couldn't find a job due to the financial crisis and had to take on several simple jobs. These experiences were life-changing and helped me develop in ways I wouldn't have if my life had turned out as I hoped. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well." Yes, we fear losing jobs, marriages, and money, but new situations always have hidden opportunities. Marcus Aurelius stated in his Meditations, "Constant awareness that everything is born from change. The knowledge that there is nothing nature loves more than to alter what exists and make new things like it. All that exists is the seed of what will emerge from it." 3. Realize that happiness is relative. In one of my earliest videos, I discussed how happiness is adaptive. In 1978, a study by Brickman, Coates, and Janoff Bullman explored whether happiness is relative. They studied lottery winners, paralyzed accident victims, and a control group. Initially, lottery winners were much happier than the paralyzed victims and the control group. However, after a year, the control group and lottery winners were equally happy and only slightly happier than the paralyzed victims. If happiness is relative, why fear the future? The time and energy spent fearing the future are likely worse than the future itself. My uncle was diagnosed diagnosed with cancer last year and was given a limited time to live. Despite this, he feels fantastic, enjoys life to the fullest, and is grateful for each day. So, regardless of what happens, new circumstances never exclude a sense of happiness and well-being. In fact, facing hardship might unexpectedly make us feel even better than before. 4. Be present. The practices we've discussed all point to one common theme: coping with new circumstances. Believing we need external things associated with our current life situation to be happy is an illusion. Happiness and unhappiness are relative. The future is just another path, neither good nor bad. Only our minds make it so. Change is the essence of life, and resisting change is like resisting life. Resisting change puts us in the future, because instead of accepting the present moment, we try to preserve it for the days to come. There's no future or past, only now. Fate arrives in the present, so embracing fate can only be done in the present moment. If the future hasn't arrived, why worry about it? But when it comes, love it as it is. Love it before it's gone, because if you don't, you might regret not enjoying the moment when it was right before you. Amor fati is the art of embracing whatever happens and not needing a single day beyond the present. As Seneca wrote about Epicurus, who was tortured by painful diseases, today and one other day have been the happiest of all. Thank you for watching.